Hello, welcome to another episode of Geek Week. I'm Nate.
I'm Dave Tigerman Smith.
And we're going to be doing some reviews on some recent Masterpiece and other Transformers that have been released recently. So we're going to talk about those. We're going to be reviewing the Takara Tomy Masterpiece Megatron, the Hasbro Year of the Horse / Masterpiece Optimus Prime. We've got the Transformers Grimlock Evolution 2-pack with the mock-up of the G1 Grimlock as well as the Evolution movie version. We're going to be also talking about some other masterpieces. We have the Masterpiece Blue Streak, or Masterpiece Streak I guess, but it is Blue Streak.
We got Prowl right here. One of my favorites, the cop car.
Definitely. And lastly, we have our third-party review on the Goldbug, which is a really great Bumblebee out there. A lot of the Bumblebees are too focused on the Michael Bay deal, and they've got lips and all that electronic stuff. This is a really good piece to a throwback, so we'll be talking about this as well. We'll start with the Masterpiece Megatron.
Now let me ask you, masterpiece or masterpiece of shit?
Masterpiece or masturbate. This thing in its robot form is freaking awesome. You have got the feet on a ball joint, which is great. The knees, they have a really strong click. So he can stand up and he can pose fairly well. I know Dave's kind of frightened to do anything with him.
It's a high value.
Yeah, it's a high value figure. I think that the bazooka gun on there, it's pretty massive.
I think it's way too big for him.
And as you pose it, but they got it skilled to the gun though.
Yeah, but we all know seeing Transformers, anything, scale is never really accurate. You know what I mean? How does this giant robot turn into a little gun?
Yeah, when it transforms, she shrinks into the hand of another guy. So,
yeah,
but you know, there's the fun piece of it. So I'm going to take the gun off so that we can balance him. Now the scope's pretty cool. The scope has got, I don't know if you can see it, but it's got like the laser-like feature. It doesn't shine a laser beam though. One of the good things about it was that when this line first came out, I'm not sure if you know it or not, Dave, but you had a hard time getting these. It was never released in the States, and you had a hard time getting it from overseas because when it's transformed into a gun, it looks like a real gun. And a lot of the ones that they had sent here originally, they opened up the packages sloppily, and they stuck a little red plug in here. Now, although I opened up the package on this to transform it and put it on display, I did it very carefully so I can put it back in the package if I wanted to. And I've got it set up in my showcase, in a fight to the death with Optimus Prime. It comes with this purple gun. And do you remember this purple gun?
I do.
Do you remember what this purple gun, the significance of it was?
What is the significance?
This was the gun that Megatron used to kill Optimus Prime in the Transformer movie.
That it is.
It's got the ball and chain, the mace, that they had in the classic fight during the first season of the Transformers TV show.
Yeah.
They've got the little Spark dude, which, do you remember him from the show?
He's actually from the comic.
Elaborate.
I don't recall 100%, but there's these like little Spark guys that take over and this and that. It's a cool little addition. I don't really remember the issue or anything like that, but it happened.
Good times. It's got the sword. Now, in order to place the ball and chain inside, you've got to kind of put the fist up inside. He's got good shoulder rotation.
That is what she said.
Balls deep.
Yeah.
Got good shoulder rotation, good elbow rotation. From the waist up, this figure is awesome. My problem with it is his legs. They just came out so skinny.
Yeah, they're thin.
You've got the red inside. You know how hard would it have been to just keep that silver? I'm sure there are people that do customs that are painting those silver. But all in all, to keep this in a robot form, I remember the G1 Megatron was... The robot form was terrible. It could barely stand. It was loose. The gun was cool. So as far as the posability, I mean, you can move the legs out. He's got the ball and joint. You can put him in some really cool poses. All in all, I think it's a masterpiece. I wouldn't call it a masturbate. I think they could have had a little bit more of the die-cast metal inside of it. The only die-cast you're going to get on this figure is a little bit in the back here, a very small amount on the inside, and then the feet. Keep it heavier on the bottom. But they could have put a little bit more die-cast into this one, gave it a little bit more girth to it. But all in all, I love the figure. I love the posability.
Now let me ask you this, Nate. Okay, this figure is really kind of known for being the most difficult Transformer to transform ever. How do you feel about that?
I feel like I broke it when I was transforming into a gun. It wasn't a permanent break, you know, so pieces popped off and I was able to pop them back on. But it left me lacking confidence in the transform, and I'm just going to keep it in robot form. I'm not trying to spend $200 on a figure and have it break just for the fun of transforming it.
Into a gun. Into a gun. Maybe if it was like a really cool tank, like, you know, the later figures.
You know, they have a third-party piece called Mania King, yes, which is a
Galvatron.
A remake of Galvatron, and that thing is awesome. If I can get a little bit of funds together, I'm looking to get a Mania King, and maybe we can do a review on that one as well. So, all in all, what do you say?
I say it's an awesome figure. I love the accessories. I love the thought they put into it. You know, I wish the cannon was smaller, or whether they, you know, would have gave you like a smaller one in the package to put on there that still looks good, you know?
They have a third-party piece to this that's got all of the accessories to make the gun with the tripod and all that stuff.
But you know what? When you're spending this amount of money, you shouldn't have to buy third-party pieces. That's my opinion.
Absolutely. So all in all, you know, out of 10, I give it an 8, just because of the robot form is just freaking awesome. So I can't beat it. You know, I would like to have the legs a little bit thicker, a little bit more die cast on those pieces that keep popping off. But all in all, you know, it's still a great figure, and keeping it from going to a 10 would be the lack of transformability and the lack of my faith in myself in transforming it. So
I'd probably give it maybe a little lower, like a 7. You know, awesome figure, love the robot mode. But what's a transformer that you really can't transform? You know what I mean? That it's in the name, you know, and then, you know, you have to do the third-party pieces and stuff like that. But, you know, the positives is that it was one of the early masterpieces. So, yeah, of course there was some kinks. You know what I mean? You can't blame everyone for failing the first try.
Now, we make it up. I mean, this is the Year of the Horse masterpiece Optimus Prime. Now, everything that figure was lacking, this figure has in spades. It's got the fully articulate... First of all, it comes with the battle axe to reenact the scene with Optimus and Megatron. It has got opposable thumb. Actually, the thumb...
Not so opposable after all.
Well, this is like the third or fourth version of the masterpiece Optimus Prime, and everyone's a little bit different. I'm not a fan of all the gold, to be honest. I would rather have had it with the classic chrome. But this one, I mean, it's fully articulate. You got the feet joints, you got the knee joints, you got the elbow joints, hip joints, arms, elbows, everything you want in an Optimus Prime or in a Convoy. I mean, even the mirrors fold in and out. You can open up the chest and pull out the Matrix of Leadership. Actually, my favorite Optimus Prime figure was a little bit bigger than this. It was the 25th or 20th anniversary Optimus Prime masterpiece that was like the Walmart exclusive. I had one of those and I sold it, and I'm an idiot for doing so. But I feel like I've made it up with this. Inside of his chest is the Matrix of Leadership. He's got his classic gun, the opposable thumbs and digits. And the cool thing about this was that I picked it up, I got it online from Toys R Us website for 129 bucks. Had it shipped to my house, and before it even got to me, they had it on sale for 89 bucks. You know, as an in-store pickup, which you couldn't pick it up in any stores around my house or in a 50-mile radius. So I, you know, called them and they did a price match, and I was able to get 40 bucks off, which is totally nice. Great box. In fact, let's pull up that Megatron box.
Megatron, right here.
Great box.
I would tell you what it said, but it is in Japanese.
And it does have it has the roller. Actually, is there a roller? No roller. I think they sell the roller third party, which is another reason to be upset. But it's got the clear trailer on it, as well as all of the accessories that you remember from the G1 Optimus Prime, except for the roller itself. Unless it's hiding in the box. I didn't pull everything out. I just pulled out Optimus. And I was careful when I did it so that I can put him back in, keep him pristine. But the box is great. You know, it's got the Year of the Horse on it. Shows him here with the Matrix of Leadership. Action pose, which you can actually pose him in. You never could with the G1 figures. And then it shows him in truck form in the back with the diesel behind it. So all in all, I give this figure, I'd say 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10. Great figure.
Great figure. It would be 10 if they hadn't done the gold with it. I guess they're trying to make it a little bit different. I'm not a fan of the gold. I do like the resculpt on the head that they did. It gives it more of the movie feel with the antennas on the head going out. Great articulation. All in all, great figure. So that leads us to the Optimus Prime and Megatron done. Prowl. Now these ones I picked up on a bid from overseas, from Japan or China. I don't remember which one. I think one was from Japan and one was from China. And as you can see on this scale versus Optimus Prime or Convoy, they're about 3/4 his height, because Convoy was really big or Optimus Prime was really big in the shows. But these figures have got the ankle articulation, the knee articulation, hip articulation, hand and finger articulation, elbow, shoulders, and they've got the die cast in them as well. Great figures. We're not going to be opening these because I'm planning to do a resale on these. I don't want to affect the value on a resale. But they're the perfect size to go into the back of the truck. They're both basically the same figure if you look at them. Are the heads the same?
It looks like the heads are the same. I mean, there's a couple differences, like, you know,
the shoulder cannons.
Yeah, the shoulder cannons, the paint. You know, all in all, they're almost the same.
It's kind of like what they were doing with the Starscream, Skywarp, Thundercracker,
Acid Storm, which is probably one of my favorite looking masterpieces.
I gotta go with the King version of Starscream.
That's another good one. You know what I mean? You can't go wrong with the Jets.
The Jets are the best.
They are. I'm gonna get one as soon as I get a couple bucks saved up.
Definitely. I mean, yeah. I'm a Transformer nerd. What can I say? And although people hate the new movie, the what was it, Transformers 4? What's the actual title of it?
Age of Extinction.
Age of Extinction. I liked the movie.
I liked it.
It was exact. It was. I knew what we were getting into when we went to watch the movie.
You can't expect a storyline that makes sense. It's not. You know, Optimus Prime's in this garage all falling apart. Marky Mark's like, hey, let me have a chance at this. You know, I can fix you up. He gives a list to that guy at the glasses.
Oh, my daughter to go to college.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be from Texas, not from Boston.
Yeah. Okay, he gives him the list, you know, a long list. This guy hops into this little car. He drives, comes back with, you know, a little bag with, like, duct tape, something, an aerosol can or something. You know, go to black. Then all of a sudden, Optimus Prime is functional. No bullet wounds, no holes, nothing. whatever was in that can worked wonders, let me tell you.
Well, I think it was when they removed the missile. Remember the missile launched in the house, and the daughter comes out with the awesome dialogue. There's a missile in the house.
Maybe if she wasn't 17, those shorts wouldn't make me feel so weird.
Oh, she was beautiful.
She was, but we're not allowed to say that. You know, I might look 16,
She might have been
but I'm
playing a
not.
16-year-old in the movie. Usually they're 25.
Yeah,
I remember when it
but
was
still, it's part of the illusion, you know, like
robots in disguise.
there you go.
There you go. 25-year-olds in disguise.
Booty shorts in disguise.
25-year-olds in disguise.
Now let me tell you, some of the reviews on that movie are just people trying to come up with the most, you know, funny lines to, you know, put the movie down. Someone said the combination between the shorts, something about, you know, the explosions and loud noises, where it was like being tied in a burlap sack and being with pipes. Really? That's how you feel about girls in short shorts? I don't know.
I don't know. I liked it. It was what I expected.
Good.
I expected a lot of explosions. I expected to have my senses dulled by the time I went out of the movie. I didn't expect the greatest dialogue. And I think a lot of the people who are upset with the movie, they're just sad that Shia...
Yeah, going through Shia withdrawals.
That's what it is. It's Shia
It's okay.
withdrawals.
You can still see him on TMZ.
There you go. TMZ. Yeah, you
Yeah.
can watch The Kingdom of the Crystal Skull over and over again and get your Mutt Williams.
Still haven't seen it.
Really?
Still haven't seen it.
It's disappointing.
Yeah.
But it was
Sorry, Nuke the Fridge. I don't get your reference.
All right, back to the Transformer reviews. Now this is a third-party piece that I have. We were talking with one of our buddies, Bobby, about third-party pieces, and Dave had the wisecrack of, so it's a knockoff.
Which it is, okay. Knockoffs aren't
a
always...
remake. The knockoffs are like those combiners that you have for sale at your store right now.
I do not own a store at all.
No. Well, you know, there have been a lot of Transformer knockoffs.
Yes.
A lot of Transformer knockoffs. You get the Chinese guys, they get the mold, and they release pieces that were supposed to be 50% die-cast, 50% plastic, 50% quality plastic, 50% die-cast, but remove the die-cast and do it in pure cheap plastic. They get the stickers down, they get the colors down, and they release what you think is Devastator. When you pick up a Devastator for $12.50, it's not the real thing, it's a knockoff.
Yeah.
So
obviously.
But there's a difference between the third party and the knockoff. In my opinion, the third party figures, they're trying to do, in a cheaper way, what Masterpiece has done with the other figures.
Which is cool.
You know, like...
I like them.
Bumblebee. Since the movies came out, Bumblebee has been all Michael Bay-ified with all of the lips. And
Bumblebee's not a Camaro. He should never be a Camaro. He's a bug.
He's a freaking bug. So in this gold bug, you can see that we've got the classic Bumblebee robot with the same head, same sculpt and everything. And then on the and then it's got a window to open up, and you can see it in the bug form. Once again, I'm not going to open this one because I might plan to resell it. But I'm not sure if you can see it, but it's got Spike in the wheelchair. It's got Spike. It's got the classic bug, and it's also got that fits inside of it, almost like a roller or like maybe a what is it, the Wasp they call it. So this can roll around, and it transforms into, like I said, a perfect rendition of Bumblebee. Now
what I would have liked to see is it being yellow instead of gold. You know, maybe, you know, a little bit more like Bumblebee. But it still is an awesome figure. I would display it proudly. I wouldn't be ashamed that it's a third-party piece.
No, especially with some of the great, like I said, with the Mania King, the pieces coming out.
That's awesome. I would display it with a sign saying, this third-party, you know, piece is actually better than one of the regulars.
Especially since the movies have come out.
Yes.
Okay, so we've got our, is this our last one?
This might just be it. Our last one.
Okay, so we've got the Toys R Us exclusive Grimlock Duo Evolution. which is he's got one too.
I do, because we're a duo.
Okay, we've got the 2014 version and the 1984 version. 30 years in between, and it's
now. Let me tell you this, Nate. Did you know this is made from the original mold?
I did.
You know how I knew? You told me.
So it's got the original Grimlock, and the movie Grimlock I gave to my son. It's in pieces somewhere, but it doesn't have, or the G1 remake doesn't have the die cast in it. But they did make it with some quality plastic, and it transforms pretty well.
Now
I'll let Dave talk a little bit.
This is my question. If anyone knows, let us know in the comment, okay? If you take a look, there's a second head. What is that head for? What is that head for, guys?
Everybody can use a little head.
Let me know in the comments what it's for. Please, we're all adults, yeah, I need a little bit more head, ha ha ha. I know my personal life, I do. Now, Nate, what do you give this figure?
Well, the G1, it's the G1. I mean, it's classic Grimlock G1. You can't
go wrong.
Well, you can't. You can go wrong. I mean, some of the G1 figures, although we love them from our childhoods, they were junk. But this one, it's fairly easy to transform. I'll have it done here in a second. The arms turn into the legs. It's got decent articulation. Decent articulation in the robot form. The thing that I'm not fond about it is how far his legs are spread apart.
Yeah.
I think they did although he's the T-Rex and he's the main feature in a lot of the cartoons and stuff, I think they did a better job with some of the other Dinobots. Swoop was great, Snarl was great. Although Grimlock's the star of the show, I like his robot form better than his dinosaur form, simply because of that spread on his legs there. It just doesn't seem natural.
But then again, so doesn't a robot turning into a T-Rex. That doesn't seem natural.
That's pretty far from natural, I suppose.
It's pretty far from natural.
It's pretty far-fetched. Okay, so feel free to like, comment if you have any questions about these figures. Or if you're looking to get some, we've got some, between Tiger Man and myself, we have access to a lot of great toys at great prices. So let us know if you're looking to get any of these things, or if you want any of these figures themselves. Thanks for watching Geek Week and our masterpiece. What was it, Masterpiece?
Or Masterpiece of Shit. They weren't Masterpiece of Shit.
They weren't a masterpiece of shit.
They weren't.
Wasn't a big fan of the
movie version.
The movie version.
He was cool in the movie. The toy just kind of lacks.
Yeah, it's
It's
lackluster at best.
Michael Bay is not meant to design toys at all. Ever. No.
I would have been happier just seeing the G1 version of these guys. Alright, well, like, subscribe, let us know what you think, and there's been another episode of Geek Week, and our next review will be coming out shortly. Thanks for watching.
Stay classy, San Diego.